Dear listeners, this week we have Parshas Sazria, in which we learn about the various skin diseases where the Torah teaches us how to deal with them properly according to the laws of the Torah. And the Torah speaks about the various skin sicknesses, how to react to them. And the Torah says, Adam kiyeh ba'or psarei, a man who will have on the skin of his flesh, seis or sapachas or beheres, seis or sapachas or beheres, v'hoya ba'or psarei. These are different sorts of skin diseases. V'hoya ba'or psarei lenega tzaras, and they'll be on the skin of his flesh as a plague of affliction. And the question is, what did the Torah mean by that expression? There'll be on the skin of his flesh a plague of affliction. They themselves are already a plague of affliction. They are tzaras. What does it mean they'll be on the skin? They'll become tzaras. They'll become a nega of affliction. But we know that the various skin diseases are not simply physical diseases. They represent and symbolize spiritual diseases. And we could translate these three kinds of diseases in a different way, because the ace could also mean, in spiritual sense or in the moral sense, ace means elevation. A person who considers themselves valuable, elevated. Sapachas is exactly the opposite. It is an attachment, something that is of no value at all. There's no self-importance, an attachment to something else. Baheres could mean the clarity of mind. Baheres, bahir, clarity of mind. These three qualities can be, of course, negative qualities, but they can also be positive qualities. Seis means recognizing the importance of oneself, could of course be very negative if it leads to pride or arrogance. On the other hand, if it brings a person his awareness to fulfill his obligation, and sometimes it can be used in a positive sense, as it is written by Yigba Liboy B'darkei Hashem. His heart became elevated in the ways of God, so then the elevation is of positive value. Likewise, sapachas, which is self-nullification, if it is bitul, self-nullification before the eternal, it is positive. If it is self-nullification, when he has a task to perform, and he fails to perform it because he has no importance in his own eyes, then it is a negative quality. Likewise, clarity of mind could be a positive quality, because it makes him understand something clearly and properly. On the other hand, if it leads to spiritual pride and arrogance, and exaggerated self-confidence of his own understanding, then it is a negative quality. So therefore the Torah says, on themselves they are neutral. He uses it improperly, uses these qualities improperly, and he makes them into a negatzoras. Then we have to know how to deal with them. Everything that the Rebbeinu Shalom gives us could be positive if we know how to use it, to utilize it, to serve the eternal, to serve the purpose for which we were created, or we abuse it and we don't know how to use it. So this is what the Torah teaches us. It depends on the individual whether he uses it positively, or chas v'shalom, and makes it into a negatzoras. Thank you very much, and have a very good Shabbos.